I'm Kalia Johnson, majoring in criminal justice with a minor in sociology, and I'm a senior. I have the privilege of introducing our speaker this morning, Mr. Jamie Miller, who was brought to us by Dr. Earl Mowat, and his topic will be discussing getting out of life what you want by learning to ask for it.
Let's give him a hand.
It's bright up here.
Yes, it is.
Hi everyone. Thank you very much for having me here today. Truly appreciate it. You know, it's always funny that they say that you should be signing things out with humour and stuff, but that's generally because of nerves and things of that nature, which I don't have in this precise point. Just curious, how many of you, like me, believe that you can always get better in communication? Show of hands. How many believe that to be true? Okay. Who's brave enough to be a volunteer here today? Okay, go ahead. If you can come up here to the stage with me, real quick. It's like Price is Right, right? You are the winner. What's your name?
My name is Tara.
Tara. Right. So Tara, what does good communication mean to you?
Being able to speak well, eye contact, just good, constant conversation.
Okay, and why would you say that those things are important?
Because you keep people's attention with it.
And why is keeping people's attention important?
Because you'll be remembered.
You'll be remembered. And how would you feel if going through life for the rest of your life, you're able to have good communication and you're able to be remembered?
I feel great.
Okay. How many of you in this room, show of hands, agree with everything that she just said? Show of hands. How many? Not all of you? Okay. Thank you very much, Sarah. Thank you. Look, during the next hour that I'm here, and I promise I know that there's other events going on, and I'm sure that some of you, I've been told, you're here in certain cases because you feel like maybe you have to be here. So my goal this period is to make you feel like you're enjoying this so much that you do not want to leave. Alright, is that fair, everyone? Alright, so here's the deal. I don't have the longest time frame to teach you every component, how you can go out there and be full on professionals when it comes to communication going forward and getting everything that you want out of life. Right? If any one of you, and you're more welcome to shout out, what things do you think you should be doing during the next hour to get the most out of this workshop?
Taking notes.
Taking notes, great one. Anything else?
Paying attention.
Paying attention. So what does that mean when it comes to these things? Guys, you louder than that. Come on, I've got some energy here.
Putting them on silent.
Putting them on silent. Okay, anything else to get the most out of today's workshop? Say that again, sir? Asking questions. Fantastic. Okay. How many of you, like me, you do value your time? Okay, so let's get the most out of this. One of the interesting things here is what I've just done in the first 2 minutes up on this stage. You've actually already utilised some of the strategies I'm going to be sharing with you here today. Alright, the first one, since this is education and we're in a college setting, alright, there's obviously certain formulas that you learn in certain classes, right? Well, when it comes to communication, I'm going to start out with 2 formulas that you're going to want to learn, which may not have ever been expressed to you before in terms of winning conversations. The first one being is, no one likes being told what to do, right? Did you kids, when you were growing up, ever like being told, make your bed, or do this, or do that, right? Never. So you have to understand, the first formula you're going to learn, when you tell someone to do something, it has this much effect when you're telling them. When you get them to tell themselves, it has way higher effect. How many of you love the idea of learning how to never tell someone to do something and get them to do it anyway? Perfect. Alright, if you understand that, what I just did with you beforehand, I didn't once tell you, you need to take notes. I didn't once tell you, all right, that you need to turn your cell phones off. I didn't once tell you what you need to do. I got you to share with me what things you should be doing. All right, so when you have communications with people going forward, it's all about asking them the right questions. And that's the second formula. This is probably the most important formula and thing. If you take one thing away from this workshop, and it's this will stand you in good stead for the rest of your lives. How many of you are pretty intrigued to learn what that is right now? Okay. Whoever is asking questions wins the conversation. I'll repeat that for you. Whoever is asking the questions wins the conversation. Right. Now there are good questions and there are bad questions. Alright? Can I have a volunteer? Who's another volunteer for not a terror? Anyone? Oh, my Chelsea boy. Fantastic. You want to stand up here? Yeah. He's in the Chelsea jersey. He's in Chelsea. I hope so. What's your name? Quez. Alright, Quez. Right, you want to go on the mic? Watch this, guys. Watch how I achieve with Quez just by asking him the right question. Quez, what is something that you want from life? To be successful. Why do you want to be successful?
Why not? Why wouldn't you want to be successful?
I don't know. You tell me. Okay, let me help you out. What does being successful mean to you?
Being successful, my definition of being successful is never having to ask anybody for anything. You already have it. You don't struggling, things like that. Like you got you successful. You got in your pocket, you got in your bank.
So you're relating successes to money.
Money, yeah.
Okay, is it related to anything else for
So
you?
you can be successful with other people, like you can, lie with, I mean, like, you can be successful in many ways.
Okay, so elaborate on what that picture is for you. You're how far along down the road? When are you seeing yourself being successful?
When do I see myself?
How old are you right now?
20.
You're 20. Okay, so when do you see yourself being this picture of losing success, having all the money in your pocket, and never having to go to anyone else for anything ever again?
When do I see myself doing that? Whenever done with college and then into doing what I want to do, being a lawyer.
Oh, so being a lawyer. So now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so you want to go through college and become a lawyer. Okay, so what do you need to do whilst you're in college in order to get there?
Like cliche statement is doing the work, paying attention, listening to teachers, get that degree in 3 or 4 years.
Okay, and then to go to law,
Law school.
you have to go to law school. You have to pass the bar. How would you feel if you go through college, you pay attention, your teachers love you because you're paying attention, all right? You go through law school, you pass the bar, you become an attorney, and you make all this money, right? And you never have to go to anyone else ever again for anything. How would that make you feel?
Successful.
Successful. All right, well done. If you were actually paying attention, all right, what I just did is I just took Quez through a line of questioning, right, that even if he knows, or even if you're talking to someone and they know where you're going with that line of questioning, it doesn't matter as long as they're being genuine with you. Did every one of you feel Quez was genuine? Yes. All right? So these are the 3 magic words that you'll want to learn when winning a conversation going forward as good questions. What, why, how? And these are things that were not taught to me when I was in college, which was many moons ago. Alright, but what, why, how? If you can address conversations going forward where you ask someone, what are they looking for? Then you're asking someone, why is that important to them? And then you're asking them how they feel about getting there. You get them committed where you're not telling them what they should be. I wasn't telling Quez what I believe successful is. He was sharing with me what his belief in being successful is. Alright? I promise you, going forward in life, if this workshop can be very impactful for you if you remember, to be able to step away from conversation. Any of you in this room in any relationships, boyfriend, girlfriends, married, or anything of that nature? Right. It's very difficult, I can tell you right now, when I'm in relationships and they know that I teach this stuff, alright, I can't go to questions. So all the things that I'm preaching to you right now, I find it very difficult to practice. But anyone in your lives that they don't know what you know, you're going to have a great time with this. Alright? It's very difficult when you're in the spur of the moment to engage without emotion, step back from that conversation to ask the right questions. I'll give you an example. All of you, if you've ever had parents, have you ever had a moment in your life where your parents have ever turned around to you and said, you've done something where you've done something naughty? Any of you ever done anything naughty in your lives? Alright. Thank you for those who are honest. Okay. When you've done something naughty, how often has the person turned around to you, like your parents or whatever, and be like, why did you do that? Any of you ever experienced someone saying, why did you do that? Right. Who are my psychology majors in the room? Show of hands. Okay, well this is the psychology of that question. If I ask my kids why they did something that was wrong, they're going to come up with every reason in their head as to why they did it. Think about that. If you ask someone why they did it, if a teacher had someone come to them and they didn't do the homework, alright, that ever happened? And the teacher turns around and says, why didn't you do your homework? They're going to come up with every reason why they didn't do their homework. So if you think about the psychology of the questions you're going to ask people, there are good questions, like what, why, how, what are you looking for, why is it important to you, how you feel when you get there. But there's also bad questions. Right? And one of the worst questions you can ever ask someone is, why wouldn't you do this? Alright? There's a concert across the street. Many are saying, why shouldn't we be there? Alright? No, exactly. Boom, I like that. Alright? I promise you during this hour, actually, how many of you in here in the next half an hour, 40 minutes, if I was to teach you how you can ask one interview question, alright, just one question that elevates your chances from getting a job from here to here, how many of you would really, really want to know that question? If I can teach you a question you can ask anyone in any form of customer service, alright, any form. For instance, just this year I went to London, and when I got, you might be able to tell by the way, I don't sound like I'm from here originally, right? Anyone follow football? Real football? No, I'm just kidding, alright? On the flight, on the way back, I was able to obtain an upgrade. I had an economy ticket, I was able to get an upgrade by asking the ticketing agent one question. How many of you would be intrigued to really know that question? Okay. So do you promise to stay here to learn that question before you go across the street? Yeah, there you go. Alright, so when you're asking questions, so for instance, how many of you as kids ever ask your parents, for instance, hey mum, dad, can I have a cell phone? Any of you ever ask your parents that question? Yeah, right. And what was their answers? Too young, yes, no? I'm going to teach you something right now, right here, that I'm hoping the faculty don't give me a hard time about, but if you would have known this line of questioning, when you were younger, you would have got that cell phone. Alright? And here it is. If my son, and he doesn't know to do this yet, I'm not going to teach him, and please don't, okay? Alright? If my son came up to me and said, Dad, do you care about my safety? What do you think I would answer? Yes. What do we want people to say when we ask them questions, when we want them to get them to do something? Yes. So always think conscientiously about what you're asking the person to get a... Well, you do better than that, guys. What do we want people to say? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to turn around to my son Harrison and I'm going to say, yes, I care about your safety. And then he's going to turn around and say, well, Dad, what is one thing that you think you can do, right, that makes sure that you know where I'm at, okay, and who I'm with and what I'm doing at all times? Alright? I have to now come up with an answer. And what's that answer going to be? A cell phone. Alright? And then I'm going to turn around to him and I'm going to be like, I agree with you. Alright? So now he's got me to buy him a cell phone with asking just two simple questions. Alright? I promise you this powerful. This gentleman here is laughing and chuckling because he knows that it's 100% legit. Here's the other thing. Let's say I said, no, I don't want to get your cell phone. Think of the response he can now give and that you can give. If you ask someone to be genuine, so I asked Quez, what's your view of success? And he says to become a lawyer and what have you. If I said to him, I can show you the way that you can achieve that, alright, you just have to follow this path, and he says, I'm not going to, alright, now I can say, I'm confused, alright, because you just shared with me everything you want from life, and as long as you're prepared to do what's legal, ethical, and moral to achieve it, I can get you there, so you can question their commitment. If I say no to my son, he's like, well, Dad, I really don't think that you are caring about my safety. You know, there was some kid the other day that was nearly abducted by my school. You know, like what? Do you understand where? And obviously, look, I want to make sure this is clear. We're in a school environment. I'm impactful on young lives. Do not go do this to your parents, okay? And also, everything I'm teaching here, please, let's not ever use. Let's do it ethically. All right? The skills I'm teaching you here are not to manipulate situations. I hope you're realizing 100%. I'm all about giving the other person what they want, not what I want for them. Does that make sense, guys? Is it very clear? Right. How many of you are ready right now to learn what that question is that you would want to ask in an interview to get a job? Right. You're going to love this. We were just sharing all the different speakers that you've had come here, and a lot of it is based around jobs. You're in college and you want to move on, and how many of you believe you will be sitting in an interview? All of you. Okay. Well, here's the deal with that. I've actually surveyed a ton of employers, a ton of people who do interviews, and here's what they share with me. 9 out of 10 people that go into that interview, you get dressed up. A lot of you are dressed up here. You put gas in your car, you put yourself together, you go to the interview, you sit in the interview for about half an hour, 40 minutes. You answer every question that that person has, right? And then they turn around to you at that pivotal moment, and they turn around and say, do you have any questions for me? And what do 9 out of 10 people say? No. And what do they do? Do they get the job? No. Okay, so if I can teach you one question, that would be pretty helpful, right? I'm not going to ever tell you, oh, this is going to get you the job. I'm not saying that. But what I am going to share with you, I'm going to share with you a great question right now, that if you remember this, and you take it away with you, it will most certainly help elevate your chances in the interview. Anyone remember one of the first formulas that I taught here today? What was one of the first formulas about questions? What did I say? Go ahead, man.
No one likes being told what to do. You have to get them to tell themselves what they want to do.
That was one formula. That was great. Well done. I'm glad you're paying attention for sure. What was the other formula? Anyone? Go ahead.
Whoever asks the questions wins the conversation.
Whoever asks the questions wins the conversation. What you now know conscientiously, by the way, is when that interviewer asks you, do you have any questions for me? Who now gets control of the conversation? You. We do. So I'm going to turn around, and this is what I would say, word for word. I am so glad that you've asked me that I have a question. All right? If you're like me, we've been very upfront with each other, right? If you're like me, you like to be upfront with people, right, Wes? All right? How many of you like to be upfront with people? Okay? The interviewer is not going to say no to that, right? They're going to say, yes, I agree, I want to be upfront with you. Okay? I have been very upfront in answering all your questions that you've had for me. Can you share with me the benefits that you would get in hiring me today? Alright? Think of that question. You're now putting it onto the interviewer. You're going to turn around to them very frankly and say, look, I've been very upfront with you, like me, I'm sure you appreciate that. Based on the questions that you've asked me, the information I've shared with you, can you now share with me the benefits that you would get in hiring me today? Why do we want to say the word today? When do we want the job? Today. All right? If we walk out the door, we're going to have to be waiting for months and months. That's not the idea, right? Here's the deal with that question, by the way. You put the onus back into them. Because 9 out of 10 people are saying no and walking out the door without questions, do you think that person's going to be familiar with that question? No. Alright, so do you think you're going to put them on the spot? And what was it, the only thing I asked them to share? The benefits or the negatives in hiring us? So what do they have to come up with psychologically in their head? So how many of you think immediately your chance of getting a job go from here to way up here now? How many of you love that question? How many of you have learned something that you 100% would not have done before you stepped foot in this room and sat in these seats? How much value would you place monetarily to have that kind of knowledge? Go ahead. How much, yeah, if you were to, you pay for a book, it's $15 in a Barnes and Noble or wherever, you pay, how much value do you think there is in knowing a question like that? You can get any job you want, potentially, if you have the confidence to ask a question.
It's better now, because I've had interviews for positions like dental residence, assistant, and everything. I always leave without asking questions.
Boom. So that's a tremendous value to you. How many of you agree with her?
They can't hear it. You
Ha-
have to
Sorry. Oh, what she, I have to find what she said. That's good. I'm getting better. She just said that obviously she's been for interviews in the past and never asked a question in the past. And as a result of learning that now, that's tremendous value. How many of you believe the same as her? Great, so we're learning stuff. That's fantastic. How many of you would love the idea of learning how to agree with someone without ever saying, I agree? Have any of you ever had disagreements with people? You know, they say from a distance, if you watch two people arguing, they both look wrong. Alright, if you see from a distance two people clashing like this, I'm going to teach you one of the most best ninja techniques right now that you can win any conversation by not agreeing with someone, alright, by saying I agree, and you keep the process going, alright, and you don't use the word but. Alright, so, if I was to say America is the greatest country in the world, who in this room would disagree with that right now? Number of hands. Okay, so step up with him, man. Now, this goes with that notion of, remember, telling someone something doesn't have the effect, okay? It has this much effect if you tell someone. Alright? If I said, watch this is controversial, I guess, for today, right? I told them never to stay away from politics as a conversation, and we won't go deep into it, but if I said Donald Trump is the greatest president of all time. Exactly. Alright? Here's the deal. If I say Donald Trump's the greatest president of all time, and none of you agree with me, are we now in disagreement? Yes. So you're not going to listen to anything else I have to say after the fact, right? Someone, okay? So it's like me saying Arnold Schwarzenegger is the greatest bodybuilder of all time. If someone else thinks Dorian Yates was the greatest bodybuilder, now we're on different pages. So the idea is, how do I get him on the same page as me? So I say, America is the greatest country of all time. So which you say, no. Okay, that's very correct. Okay. I would then say the agreement part without agreeing. What's this? Oh, what's your name, by the way? Kalinda. Alright, Kalinda. Okay, Kalinda, I get it. I understand completely why you would be thinking that way at this moment. I haven't shared the opportunities that I've been able to take care of for me and my family so far. Now, I've continued the transition of the sentence. Alright? Now, believe me, this is advanced stuff, so follow along. Alright, if I say, well, you're wrong, now we're having an argument. If I say the comment I'm saying, I can now continue along with the conversation. So, Kalunda, the words are, I get it. So imagine if you're in a relationship and you're having a fight with someone, or arguing with someone about anything. Right, if you say these words and they say something you disagree with, don't say I agree with you, because you don't. Right? You say, I get it, pause. I understand completely why you would be thinking that way right now, and then do a pause. Alright? I haven't shared blah blah blah. Alright, so in Kalunda's case, I'll be like, I haven't shared the opportunities that I've had for my family. Now he gets it and can understand where I'm coming from. Does that make sense? And he'll say, oh, I can get it now. Now we're not in a debate on whether America's great or not. Right? How many of you think in life you might go into a sales environment going forward in life? Okay, not many of you. And that's why I don't want to predominantly make this a sales scenario, but I will share this with you. Sometimes in life you're going to get someone come up to you and say whatever you're trying to promote is too expensive or things of that nature. So for instance, I've taught many businesses where they say one of their biggest objections is that's too much money. So I'm going to turn around and say, I get it. I understand completely why you're thinking that way right now. We haven't discussed any of your payment options. You know what I mean? Like, so now, or I'm going to make it, I'm going to build rapport. Kalunda, how much do you invest to go to college?
How much have I invested?
Yeah.
Almost $30,000.
Almost $30,000. Now I can use that as a frame of reference to anything else in life that I'm promoting. As long as it's being ethical, legal, moral, and I can go to sleep at night knowing that it's giving Kalunda what he wants. So a good example, how many of you go to a gym? Alright, you're going to love this. I work out in LA Fitness in Castleberry, and just for a goof, I went up to the guy, Steve, who sells the membership. And I said to him, I had no intent of doing this, but I said to him, I'm going to go and check out the Planet Fitness down the street, just because I wanted to see his response. And before I could say another word, he starts telling me, which we know telling is not good, he says, Planet Fitness doesn't have a basketball court, Planet Fitness doesn't have a swimming pool, Planet Fitness doesn't have the racquetball court, Planet Fitness doesn't have this. Here's the deal, I don't use any of that stuff. Alright, so the better question would have been is, hey Jamie, share with me the benefits you get by working out in this gym, alright, and then I'm going to be focused on all the benefits. You see, in life, if you start telling people, and every one of us in this life is guilty of trying to achieve something where they want to tell everyone how great they are. So when Quez is in competition with lawyers, I promise you there are a bunch of attorneys, because I've met them, all they want to do is tell you how great they are, the cases they've won, and what money they've made for people. They're not focused on the actual client and what the client wants out of the scenario. I can promise you, I can share that with you. If you don't, stop focusing on ever telling someone how great you are, no matter what you've achieved. And that leads to my next point. Belinda, by the way, thank you very much. How many of you noticed when I got up here, I didn't say anything about my past experience, I didn't say anything to add any credibility about myself whatsoever? Show of hands. How many of you noticed that? Right? You know, there's a lot of people out there that will do what I do, which will speak for half an hour about how great they are, all right, and what they've achieved. And the truth be told, who believes like me that the content being taught is more important than what the person has achieved in their lives? Okay, here's the deal with that. Can anyone remember the 3 words I used to build rapport with everyone in this room like that? Okay, you're going to love this. How many of you would like to learn 3 words that you can build rapport with anyone? It doesn't matter about any situation. Okay. Do you mind if I can be very blunt with you in this room? Alright. Am I white? Okay. Are we in a predominantly black institution for education in this country? How many of you feel that you're way different from me? Alright, I'm from England, I'm 40 years old, I've got kids. Alright, like, you don't feel that you're similar to me, right? Show of hands. I made you all like me within 3 seconds by saying 3 words at the very beginning. I turned around and said these 3 words. You might want to write these down. You like me. Use it in any sentence with anyone in the world going forward. You like me. And what I followed it up with, how many of you like me believe that we can always get better in communication? How many hands went up? All of you. Does that make us the same? Do we have the same values? Have I built a belief? How many think having conversations with people going forward, if you build rapport, how many of you have ever heard that in order to get someone on your side, you have to build rapport? Right? You can build rapport with someone, instantaneous, no matter what the backgrounds are, alright, because there are fundamental things that we all believe. Watch this. I did this earlier, but you probably didn't notice. How many of you, like me, value our time? How many of you, like me, value opportunity? Hey, you like me, we're all in this room together. We're all about getting better in life, right? It's instant rapport. You like me. Okay, so we focus on instant rapport. You like me. You focus on the agreement. Do any of you have any questions about anything that we've discussed so far? And I'll try and help elaborate or clarify anything up to this point. Don't have to be shy now. No? Not one question so far? Was that a question? No. All right. I talked to you about social upgrades. A question that I asked someone to get an upgrade for an aeroplane. How many of you are ready to learn that? Right. Now, I stay in hotels. I travel a lot for work. And usually the amateur move is you go out to the front desk of the hotel, and if you want an upgrade, what's a question that you think would be an amateur move for how you would ask for an upgraded room? How would you ask? One person, go ahead. What would you say? No? Go ahead. How much? How much more is it? Okay, so you're willing to pay for the upgrade. That's great. All right. What if you wanted to try and get an upgrade and you weren't looking to pay for the upgrade, but you felt that you could ask for one? Can I get an upgrade? And think about that question now, okay? Really absorb this. What can the responses be to can I get an upgrade? Could they say yes? Could they say no? All right. What do we want them to say? Okay, so this is the question. This is what I got an upgrade on a flight. I didn't go up to the counter and to the ticketing girl in England and say, hey, can I get an upgrade? Any chance of an upgrade? I turned around and I said, I'm betting when you woke up this morning, you really wanted to put a smile on a customer's face today. What person in customer service does not want to put a smile on somebody's face, right? Think about that. So anytime I've had the guy Steve from LA Fitness, by the way, he uses this in Chipotle. Let's say you want extra meat, all right, on your rice bowl. He turned around to the person and said, I'm sure when you woke up, you wanted to put a smile on the customer's face. Immediately, the person turns around to you and says, what can I do for you? What do you want? I'm so glad you asked me. All right, what do I want? I would love if you could put some extra meat on there. Let me see what I can do. Okay? Think of this is where I learned this, by the way. One, I've got to credit my mum. All right? Any of you ever heard the expression, you get more bees with honey? Any of you ever heard it? All right? How many times have you ever been on, and be honest, you've been on the phone with customer service with Sprint, AT&T, and what have you, and you've lost your patience, you've lost your cool. Financial aid? You've got to picture that person, all right, is not going to give you what you want if you're angry with them on the other end of the phone, all right? They're not going to be loving you for being like that. So can you see how the psychology of turning it around? All right, because that person really does want to put a smile on somebody's face. All right, so that's a great one. Also, think of it like this. I know that I'm going to speak for the females in here because I've had it done to me. I've had a girlfriend turn around to me in the morning and said, do you love me? I'm like, okay, what do you want? All right? Or how much do you love me? All right? Think about that. Is that a question? Yeah? And it's evoking a response. So all I've done is take that scenario and implement it into what I call social upgrades in life going out there. All right? How many of you have learned a lot of information already here today that you're like, this is good stuff? You're glad you're missing the concert across the street, right? Okay, I get it. Alright? Look, here's the truth of the matter. I'm not going to tell you how great the information is that I'm sharing with you. I just know that I believe in it and I've practiced it to the point of when anyone ever asks me a question, I know to ask them a question back. Okay? How many of you have noticed politicians, they never answer questions? Do you think they got perfected at doing these kind of skills? Right? Do you think that you would benefit from practice? Well, actually, let me ask you, what do you think you need to do to get better at these skills? Practice, right? Okay, obviously as an engagement, it's always best to get more and more energy from you guys. I appreciate that. But my deal is with this, is I use these things in my life whether you use them or you don't. Alright? I will commit myself to help you as much as you're committed to getting forward with this stuff. Right? I'm not attached to your outcomes here. Right? And that leads to a major point. How many in life have ever told someone else that you wanted to do something for them? Do you know what the truth of the matter is? The real truth? No one cares what you want. Nobody cares what you want from life. They don't. If you start out any conversation, I want to do this for you, that means you want to do it more for them than they want to do it for themselves. So I never use the words I want. So going forward with people in life, if someone shares something that they want from life, that's where you get the ability to share with them what they will want to do going forward. Alright? It's like a teacher in this class. Let's say you're a teacher here, and you believe in what you're teaching, and you want your students to go out there and kill the world and benefit from what you're teaching them. Alright? If the pupil isn't as committed, the other end, you're not going to get the benefits out of it. Alright? It's like if I said to you, how many of you want to go across the street? Wow, none of you. So you all want to be here. I'm like, that's great. So try and practice going forward, never using the words I want. Alright? Say you will want. Alright? You will want to do blah blah blah. Alright? It's like I use fitness a lot because I find that it works. I have a friend of mine, her name's Sarah, and she's getting married. And the day that she got pretty much proposed to, she turned around to me and said, Jamie, she goes, you can't let me eat a carb for a whole year. Alright? Why do you think she said that to me? She wants to fit in her dress. Alright? So the idea is I didn't tell her, oh, she needs to add the other things. I got out of her all the other things that she should be doing in her life, like going to the gym, eating healthy, eating the right carbs. Right? You know what? Have any of you ever interacted with personal trainers in your life before? And when you've gone to them, have they ever been like, is it ever given off the persona like, look at me, you need to work out with me, and you need to do everything that I tell you to do? Have any of you ever experienced that? Show of hands. How many feel now that it's a bit more sophisticated and they get a lot more better results by asking questions of the client as to what they want from life? This guy's holding his hand up all the time. I love you, man. That's good, right?
I didn't come to university to waste my time.
Boom. How many of you feel like him, you agree with him? You didn't come here to waste your time. How many of you here feel that I value my time? How many of you feel that the stuff I've taught here is not going to get taught in a classroom setting? Alright? It's very unconventional stuff. And I'm not going to be out here telling you I'm the best teacher on the planet. What I can tell you is I build up the confidence that I know the stuff. It doesn't necessarily make me the best teacher of the items. But the truth be told, if you take away, and I got told earlier before coming up here, how many freshmen are in the room? Alright? How many sophomores? Juniors. Any seniors in the room? The seniors, would you say that the interview question is more impactful for you? Yeah. Right. Freshmen in the room. How many of you freshmen felt that interview question was impactful? Well done, because I tell you right now, right, it's difficult to sometimes understand the consequences going forward of what you learn today and what you do to yourself today and what impact it can have on you in the future. But the deal for me being here today for you and teaching you this stuff is you can never turn around and never say you didn't learn it. How many of you in this room, and be upfront, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a majority of you, How many of you feel that you're truly disadvantaged when it comes to this country and the opportunities that exist for you? Right? How many of you understand that the language you use and the communication you use can immediately elevate you from down here to up here and what you can achieve out there? You have no excuses. If you want me to be a resource, and I love Dr. Noah, I'll call him here, alright? I will gladly be an available resource for any of you in this room going forward to help you with any situation regarding questions or communication. I'm not going to try and be an expert at something I'm not. Right? But if you ever need help with communication, right, you've got kids, you want to get them to do stuff, alright? You want to have more impactful conversations with a relative. You want to be able to win conversations with your boss. Right? I will be a resource for you going forward, right, that you can utilize. All I ask you to do is you can come up to me afterwards, and this is how I know it's impactful for you. I'm not going to be coming and chasing any of you down. If you want it, I'm here. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
Right. So just by show of hands, and this is for my own self-worth, how many of you have loved and enjoyed this today? Wow. I must tell you, that's more hands went up there than the energy that I felt in the room at times, alright? No, my name is Jamie Miller. I truly appreciate the privilege, I truly do, of being able to be impactful and teach you things that I don't believe are taught in the classroom, and taken me at least the last 10 years of my life of practicing and perfecting to learn so that I can share them with you. So thank you very much. Okay, let's give him another applause. I am going to ask a favour. How many of you in this room ever think about that you're going to start a business for yourselves one day? You don't want to work for the man. Alright? So when it comes to starting a business, how many of you think you're going to go through steps of trials, tribulation, learning things about doing that? So I know that a lot of hands went up, they really enjoyed it, I get it, and I appreciate constructive feedback, I appreciate where I can get better, one, but here's what I also appreciate. I want to be impactful for not only you, but for other people. It's not about you sharing, oh, you need to go and see this guy, he's great and what he teaches is really impactful. That's not it. But where you could help me out, and you will be looking for this going forward in your lives, this gentleman here, Jeff, has been filming the whole event for me, alright? For those of you who are truly impacted, alright, and you believe, like me, you're going to do something in life where you would like to get some feedback too, if you could walk over to Jeff, and all you have to do is just share one thing, two things that you absolutely loved about this workshop, that would be truly appreciated. Alright? So thank you.
That's the new